To be one's own master.
Master thyself.
A more poetic way of putting it, but yes.
Hey, it's been a while. I haven't been up to much, just been in therapy with my boy Kratos. I would ask you what you've been doing, but I don't really care. We're here to talk about God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. This got announced when I was watching the game advertisements featuring Hideo Kojima, and between this and like the Blade announcement, I was like, hey, those are cool. And I was like, oh, it's a roguelite. It's not like a full DLC. There's not gonna be a whole lot of plot. It'll still be fun though. I'll pick it up when it's on sale probably. And then they hit you with the bam, it's free. And I was like, okay, I'm playing this day one. Going into this, like I said, didn't expect a whole lot of like groundbreaking shit. I just was like, hey, I really like the combat. It'll be a fun little 2-3 hour adventure probably for me, and then I'll put it down.
I'm a dumbass.
After playing this to completion, I especially do not deserve Santa Monica Studio. They are too good for me. They're too good for all of us. This completely free, Free, with the asterisk, you have to have the base game, DLC, was honestly one of the best things I played this year. Between playing this and Alan Wake 2 at the same time, my sleep schedule was completely ruined, but it was 100,000% worth it. Because with this epilogue to God of War Ragnarok story, I can safely say that that game now, to me, feels more complete than it did when I originally beat it. Oh my god, it's my glorious King Kratos. We're actually going to switch it up. Usually I talk about story last. We're going to talk about it first this time, because it is the aspect of this that surprised me the most. And that I actually enjoyed the most, believe it or not. Because I said that there's more story than I was expecting, but don't get it twisted, this is definitely more gameplay oriented compared to the base game. So the basic setup is Kratos gets a mysterious letter beckoning him towards Valhalla to face his past and his inner demons so he can take hold of his future. So yes, that does mean he has to confront some of the things from the original games, the Greek pantheon that he just brutally murdered. That's why this video is titled Therapy with Kratos. Although his version of therapy is a lot different than what I'm used to. If therapy was like this, where you just slaughter all your enemies in brutal combat to clear your mind, then I would have gone to therapy to deal with my parents' divorce. Okay, but I'm getting off topic here. We're talking about plot. It's going to be a little bit difficult talking about this plot because there's so many different parts I don't want to get into detail about or spoil, because there's so much here for old fans, especially of the series, if you played those original games, to really love and enjoy. Which is why I think one of the biggest barriers to this free DLC is, even if you played both of the new games to completion, to get the full enjoyment, the full vibe out of it, you definitely have to play those Greek games. It makes some fantastic callbacks, some of those classic adventures from that original trilogy, all the horrible things that man did, but it handles them in such a mature, nostalgic yet reflective view that you couldn't help but just enjoy every moment that they spent on the big events of this man's life. And that was easily my favorite part. Of course, I love the fan service, the callbacks, the enemy types that return. It was when Kratos was looking into the major moments of his past and looking at them with a new perspective, with a group of friends around him that actually supported him and believe in him to be better, to accept his faults, his mistakes of his past, to create a better future, is pure cinema. And the ending to this feels like the true ending to Ragnarok that was teased at the end of that game, is now fully in fruition and is a very, very satisfying conclusion to this fantastic character arc. But all this like reminiscing over memories and past mistakes to become a better person, just looking at them from new perspectives, that's pussy shit. Do you know what a real man does? A real man clears his mind to prepare for these emotional battlegrounds by slaughtering, maiming, and brutalizing everything that attacks him within his own memories. Now I know what you're thinking. Stop with the fucking montages. And I will. This is the last one, I swear. I promise. Scout's honor. Now the other thing you're thinking is, god damn, I forgot how crispy God of War's gameplay is. And you'd be correct in thinking that. One aspect I was missing from the base game of Ragnarok that was in God of War 2018 actually was, there was an enhancement of the Muspelheim challenges in Ragnarok, but there was no enhancement of the Niflheim roguelite sections. Although, I can't lie, using roguelite to describe the Niflheim section is a little wrong, because the only thing that was randomized was what enemies you fought. The map remained the same, and there was still the same Valkyrie at the end you would fight. But it was fun, goddammit. It really highlighted how fun the endgame combat was in that one. And I kind of missed having something like that in Ragnarok, but now it's here. And it really makes the gameplay shine. One of the most impressive things about Ragnarok was I think they addressed almost every single issue from the first game's combat. And nothing inherently changes here, it just, goddamn, it was good to fucking play this game again. So I think that's why when I say I enjoyed the story more, is because it surprised me how deep it was. And here it was more just like a poking reminder, like, hey, the combat in this game is fucking excellent, and you need to play it more. It starts you with all 3 weapons, all the upgrades, and it just lets you loose. And I love it, it's beautiful. But if that's all they did, then what's the point of the DLC, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad they did something different and new from the base game to have Valhalla kind of stand on its own, and they do that through the roguelike elements and the way upgrades work. Does it do anything wholly original? No. If I'm being honest, it's kind of just Hades light. But Hades is an excellent game, so that's one hell of a compliment. You choose doors that have different rewards based on the symbol it shows you. You go, you fight the enemies in there, you open a chest, you get upgrades. It's pretty standard stuff, but it's polished to perfection. One element I've always loved about roguelites is the amount of choice you have when making your build for each run. And it hits you with choices right off the bat. When you start, you have to choose which weapon you're going to focus on for that one, although you can always switch between them. And there are just spirals and spirals and spirals until you find something that's unique to your run and your playstyle. It's nothing new, but I was just amazed how well they could fit that style onto God of War and still hold most of the original game's identity. One unexpected turn that they took from the original, and that I actually think they should do going forward with whatever they do next for God of War, is they just made the armor cosmetic. All the stats are controlled by you, and all the differences in gameplay is determined by the weapons. 2018 in Ragnarok had light RPG elements. You pick armor, you get some talismans, you have stat increases, and it's fine. I've liked them less as I played the games, and I just don't think they're really needed. And this, I think, is a really good solution. Armors here are completely cosmetic, and you get permanent upgrades before each run that you spend currency on, kind of like Hades. And that's where you do your stat increases, along with a couple other upgrades that are really well done. But these stat increases in particular, you can fill out all of them to maximum, and you increase the rest as your run progresses. But what I like about it is that you choose the order that it goes in, so it feels like it's your own little sense of progression for getting stronger, rather than just having it arbitrarily assigned to armor pieces. And if the armor's ugly, then you're like, I don't really want to wear it, but it has cool stats that I want. Just get rid of that bullshit. We're playing God of War. We're not playing fucking Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We're playing God of Goddamn War. This is an action-adventure game. On top of that, I think the upgrades going forward for the series and what they kind of do here, because like I said, you start with everything, and the way you diversify in this game is based on what you pick up during the runs. I would love to see this evolve further into, rather than increasing stats to find a play style, you choose what moves you want for each weapon to create one that's your own, that synergizes well. In other words, let me get all of the boring stuff in the order I want, while all of the cool shit, don't give it all to me. Let me choose so it's unique to me. But we'll save the topic of RPG gentrification of action-adventure games for another video. All you need to know is God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. I think they're taking steps in a much better direction in terms of choice of play style. The last thing I want to say about gameplay is awaiting you at the end of each successful run is an incredible boss fight. I think it might be my favorite. It might be the best in the Norse games, and it might be my favorite in the whole series. Let me describe it like this. The first time I saw who the boss was, I was like, oh, okay, that's a little disappointing. And then they started throwing hands. I was like, oh, shit. And then they had different phases. I was like, oh, shit. And then I kept fighting them after the end of each run. I was like, oh, shit. Also, it is paired with one of the best tracks I think Bear McCreary has made for these games. And can we just give a round of applause, standing applause for this man? He has made two of the greatest video game soundtracks ever with Ragnarok in 2018, and he adds to the legacy of Ragnarok with the amount of fantastic tracks he made for this. And a round of applause for San Marcos Studio as a whole. With the addition of this free DLC, I would say now Ragnarok, in terms of a linear action-adventure single-player experience, it might be one of the best deals currently on the market, especially when on sale. And then you add to that its fantastic predecessor, God of War 2018, and then all of the Greek games as a whole, creating one of the, oh my god, one of the greatest character arcs I've seen in a video game series. Valhalla is a beautiful celebration of past and new for this series. It is a great final chapter to a man trying to master himself. by facing the demons of his past so he can create a future worth fighting for. If you've never played any God of War games, if you've never taken part in this frankly legendary series, consider this your invitation. Alright, that's all I got. It's good to be back making videos again. I took a little break. Also, I'm lazy as fuck. But hey, don't forget to like and Please, can you hear me, please? Alright, fantastic. The God of War video made it out. Since I released that Baldur's Gate video that nobody watched 3 months ago, I have been trapped in this dark place, stuck with the dark presence. It won't let me leave. It won't let me make videos, but I was able to get this one out. I think I may have found a way out. This dark presence, it draws power from a video game called Alan Wake 2. I have to review it, but I can't give it a score. I can't give it an ending without your help. I need you to be the hero to save me. Do you understand? You have to be there to save me. Oh shit, it's coming back. Alright, one last thing. You have to remember.